Tonight, Godzilla dominates a big BizBuzz report. Superhero movies continue their slow death. And I got a lot of stuff for you. All that as cinematic class is about to begin. And your professor is in. Greetings, salutations, another sundry affair. I am your cinematic professor and purveyor of truth in movies. We have a jam-packed show tonight, so let's get to it, shall we? You know, the Blue Beetle had a short-lived run in the theaters, and now it's living primarily on streamers. I believe Max has it now. I suspect that it's going to die a rather slow death on the streamers, and I seriously doubt that there will be a sequel, despite what James Gunn has stated publicly. It's another in a series of insipid superhero films that are more concerned with social justice than criminal justice. Now, the Blue Beetle is a minor character in the DC universe, and he came to life originally in the guise of Dan Garrett. Garrett was an archaeologist, much in the same vein as Indiana Jones. He uncovers a scarab of a blue beetle in Egypt, and this scarab is able to endow him with superpowers to fight crime. Originally, that wasn't even the Blue Beetle. Originally, the Blue Beetle was a policeman who gained super energy, let's put it that way, from an enhanced vitamin. And that vitamin was made for him by his pharmacist buddy. It was drawn by Charles Witowski, and he was also known as Charles Nicholas from Pittsburgh, right here in the Hill District, and he was friends with the family. The Hill District, for those of you watching outside of Pittsburgh, is an area that used to house the Civic Arena. It was a predominantly Italian neighborhood, and then all your social justice warriors came in, took over the land, built the Civic Arena. And I think PBG Place is there now, down on the lower end of it. Okay. The character was first published by Fox Comics, and when that company went bankrupt, it moved to Charlton Comics, where Dan Garrett transformed into a professor from a policeman, and then they brought in the whole scabbard idea. When DC came in and took over the character, he became Ted Kord. Ted Kord was a crime fighter who used science and inventions to rid the streets of undesirables. He was like a precursor to Tony Stark, I guess. Well, not quite as mechanical. Finally, back in 2006, the minority minions at DC went back to the scarab motif, and they turned the Blue Beetle into a Latino youth named Jamie Reyes. Jamie, if they say it both ways in the movie. So this version of the character combines the Reyes and the Kord storylines in a rather twisted miasma, praising Mexicans and their culture while slamming corporate America, the neocon military complex, and Mexico's imperial invaders. Wonder who that could be. You can divide this movie into two parts. The first part is basically a rehash of other superhero movies. Xolo Maridueña plays Jamie Reyes, and he's a rather bizarre blend of Peter Parker and Wade Wilson. He goes through the same situations that every superhero does when acquiring his powers, except all of these are of a Mexican flavor. The second half of the movie begins when the Blue Beetle is captured. Now, at this point, the movie denigrates into a silly eruption of nonsensical action where Yami's family somehow, inexplicably, master the former Blue Beetle's weapons, his crafts, and his fighting accoutrements. It just turns silly.
That love you feel for your family makes you weak. You're wrong. My family, that's what makes me strong.
Oh, I forgot how bad it looks.
Target the family.
Sorry, my mom.
Jaime?
You are a superhero, cabron.
Y'all take shots, y'all aim up. Whoa!
You're the Blue Beetle.
I could use that arsenal right about now!
God, you never ask.
Hell yeah.
They've been trying to stop the way, don't stop! Bust it down, bust it down!
Nana?
I advise we back away.
So, a young reporter is sent to the scene of a tragic accident at a station, and she gets a top-line interview with a key eyewitness. And after the interview is done and airs live, the police tell her, the person you interviewed is dead. Yeah, that's the premise. Because then a whole lot of weird things start happening at this station. In fact, we'll call it the Ghost Station. This movie opens up Christmas week, but I'm going to give you an opportunity to add it to your home video collection right now. The movie comes from South Korea, and a lot of horror fanatics are saying that right now the Koreans are putting out some of the best horror movies that are available on the market. Here's your chance to own this one. Just send me a return address, and I'll fire one of those bad boys off to you. It's a deluxe Blu-ray edition of The Ghost Station. Here's a look.
여기가 옥수역 배역사입니다. 이제 저쪽으로 쭉 가면. 찾았다. 드디어 찾았어.
안녕하세요. 데일리 모드 김나영 기자입니다.
떨어지지가 않아.
뭐가요? 기관사가 죽었다고?
이번이 22번째네. 옥수역이 개통하고 지난 30년간 옥수역에서 사고를 죽은 사람은
오빠에 대해 말씀해 주시겠어요?
뭔가를 찾으려고. 음모를 찾으려고 했던 게 아닌가 싶어서.
앞에 뭐가 있어?
옥수역 괴담 하나 나올 것 같지 않아요?
That's The Ghost Station. Add it to your home video collection, courtesy of Wilgo USA and Outtakes with Rex Reel. Free of charge. Just send me your name and address and I'll fire one off to you. It's as simple as that. You know, Netflix is under a lot of heat now. Apparently the Obamas had put out a movie and it was very anti-white and filled with racism, and they're all getting blasted by it. But on the plus side, Netflix did manage to snag both David Fincher and Michael Fassbender. And then for a little bit of seasoning, they threw in Tilda Swinton, and they produced a thriller called The Killer. Now, the cameramen hate when I do this, but here we go. Look at this. This is a nice little piece of artwork from The Killer. There's old Michael and guys of his assassin for the movie. Not bad. Did I hold this up good enough, guys, that I got to move it around? Yeah? Okay. It's fun when you get this fun kind of stuff from the thing, but this is pretty cool. And I don't know, we may see that on the set sometime. It's kind of neat just to leave it on the desk. We'll have to see what we can do about that. Anyway, let's get back to the story, shall we? The story is based on a very popular French graphic novel. It's divided into chapters, and each chapter is at a different global locale. That's kind of a neat way to do things. Fassbender is the assassin, and while he's one of the best in the business, Murphy's Law has been plaguing him for a while. His girlfriend, Magdala, is played by Sophie Charlotte. She's pulled into this fray through a series of events, and now he must exact revenge to salvage his reputation. The highlight of this movie is his encounter with the Q-tip assassin, and that is Tilda Swinton. It's a very brief segment, but it's probably the best segment in the movie. It is exceptionally entertaining and very enjoyable. This one is a lot of fun.
This is what it takes. My process is purely logistical. If I'm effective, it's because of one simple fact. I don't give a
For what it's worth, I would never have involved your female friend.
forbid empathy.
Please.
Trust no one. Fight only the battle you're paid to fight. Breathe. Breathe. Calm.
Prepare to be excited.
This is what it takes. If you want to succeed. Hey.
We go back in time, and Godzilla scores a hat trick when Outtakes with Rick's Reel continues right after this. The House of Fairuza Barbershop and Cigar Lounge is in full Santa mode for the holidays. If there's still time, maybe filling up that list on some of the people that you forgot, Sam can offer you a variety of fine men grooming products. Everything from Clubman all the way down to Roffler. Remember Roffler stuff? I still use that. That's good stuff all the way around. Of course, they're having their big Christmas bash for all members of the Cigar Lounge. And don't forget what I've been telling you. Sam's got a brand new collection of cigars. They're called West Coast cigars. I don't know why I didn't ask him. But last time I told you about these on the show, I had 6 of these bad boys, and I'm down to 3. The 3 I've had already have been excellent. They're great. I can't wait to get to these. So if you enjoy fine quality cigars and you want to style and profile and look your best, you owe it to yourself to contact Sam at House of Fairuza Barbershop and Cigar Lounge. They're located on the corner of South Park Road and Drake Road. Tell them I sent you. Welcome back to the show. As I said in the teaser, the King of Monsters dominates this edition of the Biz Buzz. As I said, Godzilla scores big, a natural hat trick, if you will, 3 goals in a row in tonight's Biz Buzz. First one up is the pretty one. That's Godzilla -1. Folks, this was a really good movie. Most excellent, if you will. It is a reimagining of the original 1954 story. We had our ballots we had to send in, nominating ballots for the Critics' Choice Awards for this year, and I put -1 on both the best foreign film and listed it as one of the best movies of the year. we'll wait and see how that goes. I know one of the sister organizations, the Chicago Critics Choice Awards, have already given out their awards, and Godzilla Minus One won the award for Best Special Effects. So they've recognized it there as well. You know, in this movie, I think what helps is the expanded role Godzilla plays. He's not just a symbol of the dangers of man experimenting with radiation, but his status is augmented to symbolize the obstacles of any man who needs to fulfill and wants to fulfill his life's dream. I think now would be a perfect time to peel back those veils of time and head back to the early Cretaceous period to check in with the nation's first and only prehistoric film critic, Rex Reel.
This is why and how you make movies. A solid plot with human interaction and the arc of a hero, plus the looming monster and his effect on civilization. Good special effects and cinematography, meeting all the Godzilla mantras without destroying any. なんだって言うんだ。我々しかこの国の未来を切り開くことはできないんだ。
あの怪物の生態は未知のことが多すぎて。
あいつの未来を守ってやりたい。
Second goal on this hat trick was the garbage goal. It's Monarch, Legacy of Monsters. In this series, there's over 400 minutes of programming, and Godzilla through the whole series is in less than 12 of them. It's really neat to see Kurt and Wyatt Russell working together. There's even some really clever shots using mirrors and sometimes overlays where their characters kind of mesh with one another. It's good cinematography on that. There is a bridge in this series between Godzilla and the upcoming New Empire movie. There's a slight gloss over on the two movies that have occurred in between that time. I'm not sure why that happened, but it did. Unfortunately, like most things that come to streaming and even the silver screen nowadays, this thing suffers from the curse of wokeness. There is a lesbian subplot in this story. The subplot has absolutely no bearing on the characters, nor does it have any on the storyline. It is simply virtue signaling. And the signal they send is that women basically need other women and they don't need men, which is ironic because the man they close out is the one who ends up saving them. It's ridiculous. You sit through really too much drama, human drama, in this series, though there are different timelines. So that kind of helps move it along because you bounce between the different timelines. But you add in this queer subplot, and then it all concludes with one brief battle between Godzilla and a Gaios ripoff type creature. I don't know. I don't think it all adds up. Much ado about nothing, as the Bard would say. But don't take my word for it. We've already fired up the time machine. Let's check back in again with Rex Reel.
Godzilla is a minor character in his own series. The Russells save the production. Without them, not worth watching. Godzilla is king of monsters, does not need nor require social justice, woke cultural adjustments in any story. Epic fail.
Monarch was there in San Francisco. When the whole city was coming down, these guys were taking pictures, like they'd been waiting for it.
You think that your father was working for them?
This stuff was in a safe.
Who are they? What's Monarch?
This is the world we live in. Monsters are an inescapable reality.
Those files belong to us, and they are more important than you could possibly imagine.
This is gonna give me nightmares. Now, you can choke down that Monarch lie. About your father disappearing. Or we can find out what really happened before it's too late.
Oh my God, go!
This world, it's not ours. Believe me.
It is so much more vast than we could possibly imagine.
These monsters and Monarch have taken everything from me. No more.
The world is on fire. If you want to save millions of lives, we can use some help.
Finally, the last goal was the official trailer release for Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. All right, folks, I could probably spend a whole show, maybe more, on this. It's a very long and complicated story, but we're fast running out of time, so I can't go into a lot of detail. Those of you who are faithful followers will remember the tremendous studio battle between Warner Brothers and Universal. And they kind of had legacy films stuck in the middle of that battle over character rights when Godzilla vs. Kong first came out. I detailed that in pretty good story form on previous shows. Well, that battle is continuing in this new film, and many of its aspects are revealed in this official trailer. Just thumbnail. Toho was very, very happy after Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and as a result, it opened up its barn doors and said that Warner Brothers could have access to any and all of the Toho creatures. That's a big, big barn door to open. So originally, the script after Godzilla vs. Kong was supposed to be a reimagining of Destroy All Monsters. but Universal put a kibosh to that. You see, its rights to the character King Kong came with certain monetary box office guarantees, and Godzilla vs. Kong surpassed all of those guarantees. They demanded a rematch, if you will, much to the chagrin of Warner Brothers and Toho. So they came up with what looks to be a rehash of the old Godzilla tag team movies, you know, where Godzilla tag teamed with Jet Jaguar and King Caesar. They're hoping that this movie will satisfy the contractual obligations that are owed to Universal. Now, some of my sources at the WB are saying that they will try to eliminate Kong from the equation in this movie. I could see already where, notice that little baby Kong they show is red in color. That's a key. And this strained relationship between Warner Brothers and Universal will finally come to an end, and Kong can go his way in Universal, and Godzilla can go his way at the WB. Only time will tell, and we will find out in April.
Welcome to my world. Won't you come on in?
This world has more secrets than we could possibly imagine.
Miracles I get. Still remember now and then.
What is that?
That's not Kong. What could have done this?
Kong can't stop this on his own.
He won't be alone.
We're fresh out of time, but I got to tell you about some more items in the official Rex Reel store. First, here's a picture. Check this out. This is Rich. We were caught socializing, and he has one of the official Rex Reel ball caps. Wore it out in public. It was recognized. That's a good kind of thing. I think we're going to do something like that on the show. If you wear something Rex Reel out, take yourself a picture, send it to me. We're going to get it on the show somehow, some way. New this week, we've already done the ball caps and the black and white t-shirts, but now we have the full color throw pillows. How's that? That's something different, right? Check it out at Redbubble, and you can add those to your collection. They're very, very comfy. I'd like to talk more movies, but we are fresh out of time. On behalf of David, Nick, Rex, and myself, we hope you had a very wonderful Christmas and wish you the best for all of the new year 2024. So now that you have learned what you have learned, here endeth your lesson.